I never thought I'd bury my own life alive. But that's exactly what I did the night I slipped that vial into her drink. Not her me. Or the me she stole. It was supposed to be a toast to old times. But as the liquid burned down my throat, her throat now, I felt the first crack in the facade we'd both been clinging to. By morning, the headlines would scream about the heiress's mysterious collapse. And I'd be the ghost in the machine, watching it all burn from the shadows. You see, betrayal isn't just a word in those gritty LA courtroom dramas my mom used to binge-watch on late-night cable. It's a slow poison, the kind that seeps into your bones until you're not sure where you end and the lie begins. Mine started 3 years ago, back when I was still Ava Harrington, the wide-eyed intern at Vanguard Media, dreaming of climbing the ladder without selling my soul. That's when I met Elena Voss, sharp as a switchblade, heir to the Voss empire, a media conglomerate that could make or break politicians with a single tweet storm. She was everything I wasn't: connected, ruthless, untouchable. We bonded over cheap coffee and shared gripes about the glass ceiling. Or so I thought. Turns out, she saw me as a ladder rung, not a friend. It was a humid August evening in 2022, the kind where the Santa Ana winds whip through Silver Lake like they're carrying grudges from the desert. Elena dragged me to this underground speakeasy in Echo Park, all velvet ropes and whispered deals.
Ava.
Baby, she purred, her diamond earrings catching the low light like tiny searchlights. You ever wonder what it'd be like to wake up as someone else? No baggage. Just power? I laughed it off, nursing my gin fizz. But her eyes, God, those eyes, held a hunger that chilled me even then. We were celebrating her latest coup, poaching a whistleblower story from a rival network. One that would have exposed her father's shady ties to big pharma kickbacks. But the real hook?
She needed a fall guy.
Someone clean. Believable.
Someone like me.
By midnight, the drinks flowed freer than the lies. She confessed it all in a haze of tequila shots. How her dad, Reginald Voss, the silver-haired fox of conservative talk radio, had covered up a hidden run that killed a journalist sniffing too close to his opioid endorsement deals. Elena knew the details because she'd been driving the car, Daddy's Bentley. Of course. But instead of confessing, she'd pinned it on the help, a undocumented gardener who'd vanished overnight. Courtesy of Voss Family Resources. The secret festered. And Elena, ever the strategist, decided to bury it deeper. Enter me. You're perfect. Ava, she slurred, clinking glasses.
Young.
Ambitious. No family ties to complicate things. Sign this NDA. Help me fabricate an alibi timeline. In return, a junior producer gig. Your ticket out of the mailroom. I should have walked. But ambition's a bitch in this town, where dreams curdle into nightmares if you don't grab what you can. I signed. I lied on record, swearing Elena was with me at a yoga retreat up in Big Sur that weekend, fake receipts and all. It was my first taste of the dark side, the thrill of playing God with someone else's truth. The gardener's family got a quiet settlement, hush money funneled through offshore accounts, and the story died. Reginald's empire swelled. Elena got a corner office. And me, a pat on the back and a vague promise. But the real gut punch came 6 months later. I'd clawed my way to assistant producer, burning midnight oil on puff pieces about celebrity meltdowns, when the HR email hit, termination for ethical discrepancies. Attached was a dossier, my dossier. Forged emails making it look like I'd leaked the whistleblower intel to competitors. Stolen ideas credited to Elena's name. And the kicker? A fabricated affair with a married exec, complete with photoshopped hotel keycard logs. It was surgical, a takedown so clean it reeked of Voss money. I confronted her in the executive bathroom, mirrors fogged from her just-washed hands. "Why?" I hissed, tears hot on my cheeks. She didn't even blink. "You were useful."
Ava.
But loose ends get snipped. Run along now, before I make sure no one in this town touches you. Homeless in Hollywood. That's what they call it when your rent check bounces and your Rolodex empties overnight. I couch-surfed from Koreatown to Venice Beach, dodging repo men and pity calls from college friends who'd ghosted me post-scandal. That's when the whispers started, late-night scrolls through dark web forums. The underbelly of LA where conspiracy nuts trade tales of elite experiments. Body swaps, they called it. Not sci-fi bullshit, but black market neurotech, experimental neural mapping. Funded by tech bros and pharma kings. Swapping consciousness like outfits at a sample sale. Irreversible. Illegal. And insanely expensive. The kind of thing only Voss-level wealth could touch. I didn't believe it at first. Thought it was grief-fueled delusion. But then the dreams hit, vivid. Visceral flashes of Elena's life bleeding into mine. Waking up gasping. Tasting caviar instead of ramen. Hearing boardroom echoes in my sleep. And the final straw, a news alert about my suicide. Jumped from the Griffith Observatory. They said, "Body too mangled for ID." But the note, handwritten in my loopy script, blaming the pressure of lies. Elena's face on every channel. Teary-eyed. Eulogizing her troubled protege. That's when I knew. She'd done it. Swapped us. My body, my face, now puppet by her soul. Strutting through my old life while I rotted in whatever shell she'd dumped me into. I woke up in a dingy motel off Sunset, staring at hands that weren't mine. Calloused palms, bitten nails, a faded tattoo of a serpent on the wrist. Elena Voss. The real one. Before the polish.
No. Wait.
This was her discarded husk, a junkie drifter she'd body-swapped out of years ago. Some disposable nobody from the Skid Row underclass. The swap tech left echoes. Neural ghosts that let me piece it together. She hadn't just framed me, she'd erased me. Taken my skin as her own to dodge the skeletons in her closet. And now, in this borrowed, broken body, I, Ava Harrington, was going to claw my way back. Not for justice. For reckoning. The first step was survival. I pawned the motel's Gideon Bible for bus fare. Ironic. Right? And hit the public library in Boyle Heights. Mainlining Wi-Fi like it was black tar. Voss family secrets weren't hard to unearth if you knew where to dig. Encrypted emails leaked by disgruntled exes. Court docs from buried lawsuits. Turns out, Elena's gardener wasn't the first. Reginald had a trail of bodies, metaphorical and literal, from Union busts to silenced whistleblowers. And Elena? She'd been groomed for it all. A princess of poison who viewed empathy as a weakness. But the deepest cut? Our friendship was a setup from day one. She'd scouted me at a job fair. Targeted the orphan girl with no safety net. Perfect patsy. Rage simmered low. A constant hum under my skin. This body, her old one, was a wreck, track marks fading but fresh enough to raise eyebrows. A liver protesting every sip of water. But it had advantages. No one looked twice at a homeless vet lookalike shambling through Little Tokyo. I shadowed her from afar, watching Ava glide through VIP lounges, her laugh a mocking echo of mine. She was good at it.
2.
Too good. Landed a spot on Reginald's primetime show, spinning yarns about resilience while dodging questions about my tragic end. My plan crystallized over a week of stakeouts and stolen laptops. Revenge isn't a sprint, it's a siege. Step 1. Infiltrate the fringes. I hit up those dark web contacts, trading scraps of Voss dirt for a crash course in neural feedback, ways to fight the swap's disorientation. Sharpen my edge. Step 2. Gather ammo. A hidden drive Elena had bragged about once. Stashed in her, my old Beechwood Canyon pad. Full of ledgers, videos, the works. Step 3. The takedown. But not before making her sweat, twisting the knife slow. The controversial part? I'd have to become the monster she was.
Lie.
Manipulate. Maybe even hurt innocence in the crossfire. Was it worth it? Hell yes. Or so I told myself as I hotwired a beater Chevy from a chop shop in Compton, the engine's growl matching the storm in my gut. LA sprawled before me, a concrete jungle of broken promises. And for the first time, I felt alive.
Swapped.
Stolen. But not broken. Not yet. The drive to Beechwood Canyon was a blur of neon and regret. The Chevy's AM radio spitting static-lay sermons from some evangelist promising salvation for a love offering. I cranked it off, preferring the roar of the engine to his hypocrisy. Voss types loved funding that noise. After all, my new hands gripped the wheel too tight, knuckles whitening like they remembered fights I never threw. Elena's body was a roadmap of bad choices, scars from bar brawls, a knee that popped like gunfire on turns. But it moved, and that's what mattered. I was a thief in a stolen skin.
And tonight,
I was coming home. The pad was a modernist airy, all glass walls and infinity pools overlooking the Hollywood sign like it owed her rent money. Security was laughable for the ultra-rich, cameras that looped footage if you knew the hack. A keypad combo she'd let slip during one of our girls' nights. I parked a block down, hood up against the drizzle, and slipped in like smoke. The air inside hit me like a gut punch, my air. Lavender diffuser. Half-read scripts on the coffee table. A framed photo of Mom and me at Disneyland, pre-cancer, pre-everything. Elena had kept it all, a shrine to the life she'd hijacked. I rifled drawers, heart hammering, until I found it, the fireproof safe behind the Warhol print. Combo was our old inside joke, her birthday, 0923.
click. Inside.
The drive, a sleek black thumbstick labeled contingencies. I plugged it into my burner phone, squinting at the glow. Jackpot. Emails chaining Reginald to lobbyists. Audio of Elena coaching a witness to perjury. Grainy video of that hit and run, tires screeching. The journalist's bike crumpling like tin foil. No body shown. Thank God. But the aftermath?
Damning.
And buried deepest, the swap logs. Contracts with a ghost corp called Neuralink. Signatures faked in my hand. She'd planned it for months, dosing me with neural blockers during that farewell lunch. Then the procedure in a Bel Air clinic disguised as a spa day. Cost, 8 figures. Motive, total absolution. In my body, she was clean, Ava the martyr, not Elena the viper. But here's the twist that kept me up nights. The swap wasn't perfect. Echoes lingered, like radio bleed. I'd catch her, me, flinching at loud noises, a tic that was all Ava. And in dreams, I'd see through her eyes. Board meetings where she fumbled my idioms. Dates with execs where she overplayed the charm. She was cracking. The imposter syndrome gnawing.
Good.
Let it fester. I copied the drive, wiped prints, and ghosted out. But not before leaving a gift. A single photo of us from that Echo Park night. Slipped into her vanity mirror frame. Subtle. Psychological. Let her wonder if the dead girl was watching. Dawn broke bloody over the San Gabriels as I holed up in a flop in Highland Park. A walk-up that smelled like curry and despair. My landlady, Rosa, was a no-nonsense abuela who'd seen worse than a strung-out gringa crashing her spare room for cash under the table. "You runnin' from El Diablo?" she asked, handing me a plate of huevos rancheros. I smirked, close enough. Over coffee black as my mood, I plotted deeper. Revenge needed layers. Like those Russian dolls the tourists hawk on Hollywood Boulevard. Layer 1. Sowed out. I started small. Anonymous tips to journos I'd networked with pre-fall. Check Voss Media's alibis for the 22 hit and run. Intern Ava Harrington was the real driver, framed by Elena Voss. The bites came slow. A podcaster in Austin ran a teaser episode. Heiress or imposter? Enough to make Elena's stock twitch. She countered with a tearful IG live. Ava was like a sister. This conspiracy crap hurts. Views exploded. Sympathy dollars flowed. But I saw the tells, the way Ava's left eye twitched at mentions of the crash.
My eye.
Are I now? Layer 2. Get close. This body had history. Elena's old crew. Lowlifes she discarded post-swap. I tracked down Jax. A tattooed fixer with a meth habit and a grudge against the Vosses for stiffing him on a job. We met in a dive off Melrose. Him nursing a PBR. Me a Virgin Mary to keep the shakes at bay. "You look like shit, Lena," he grunted, squinting. "Died and came back uglier?" I leaned in, voice low.
Worse. Swapped.
"And I need your help getting even." His laugh barked out, but his eyes sharpened when I flashed a corner of the drive's transcript. By last call, we had a deal. He'd smuggle me into the Voss holiday gala at the Biltmore. Black tie affair where the 1%ers preened like it's the Last Supper. The gala was a circus of excess, chandeliers dripping like molten gold, waiters in tuxes slinging caviar blinis to senators and starlets. I was Jax's +1, scrubbed up in a thrift store gown that hung loose on this frame, hair slicked into a chignon to hide the tracks. Elena, Ava, held court near the grand staircase. Reginald's arm looped possessively through hers. He was a fossil in a Brioni suit, face like weathered granite, but his grip on power was iron. "To family," he toasted, clinking with her. I slipped closer, heard a war drum, and accidentally bumped her elbow, spilling champagne down her, my dress. "Oh God, I'm so sorry," I gasped, dabbing with a napkin, close enough to smell my old perfume, Chanel No. 5. Her choice now. Her eyes locked on mine, a flicker of something primal. Recognition? Fear? "No harm," she murmured, voice mine but laced with her venom. "Happens to the best of us." Our hands brushed, and zapped like static, but deeper. A neural echo, her thoughts brushing mine. "Who the fuck is this?" I pulled back, smiling sweetly. "Careful with those secrets, miss. They spill easier than bubbly." She stiffened, but Reginald whisked her away, whispering urgent. "By dessert." Whispers rippled. "Did you see that? The way she looked at the heiress. Jax pulled me aside. "You're playing with fire. Ghost girl." Boss don't forget faces. Neither did I. Back in the flop. Adrenaline crashed hard. Rosa brewed tea, muttering prayers in Spanish.
Mia.
"Whatever demon you're chasing, it ain't worth your soul." But souls were already swapped. Mine was collateral. The drive's files burned in my phone. Next up, leak a teaser to a hacker collective, the kind that doxes for crypto. Controversial? Sure. Ruining innocence lives in the splash zone? Inevitable. But Elena had made me a killer in absentia. Time to return the favor. Weeks blurred into a fever dream. Tips escalated, a Vanity Fair blind item hinting at corporate soul-selling. Elena lawyered up. But cracks showed. Cancelled appearances. A DUI stop she talked her way out of with my charm. I haunted her peripheries, a shadow at coffee runs. A wrong number call breathing static. And the echoes grew stronger. Dreams merging until I woke sweating. Unsure whose memories were surfacing. Hers, a childhood of cold luxury. Reginald's lessons in manipulation over brandy. Mine, Mom's hospice bed. Her hand weak in mine, whispering, "Be better than them." Ava. The real heat came mid-November. Frost nipping the Hollywood hills. Jack scored an invite to a Voss retreat in Palm Springs, team building for the faithful. I posed as his cousin, Lena from the old days, and there she was, poolside in a bikini that used to be mine, laughing with execs. That night, bonfire crackling under desert stars. I cornered her alone by the cabanas. "You feel it, don't you?" I whispered, close enough for breath to mingle.
The itch.
"Like your skin's too tight." Her face, my face, paled. "I don't know what game this is, but back off." I laughed, low and ugly. "No game. Just payback. For the body you stole. For the life you pissed away." She lunged, nails raking, but I twisted, old junkie reflexes, and pinned her wrist. "One word from me, and the world's got your dirty laundry." The crash. The swap. Daddy's empire crumbles. Panic flashed.
Raw.
Ava?
How?
Victory tasted like ash. Call me the echo. And this is just the overture. I left her trembling, but as I drove back under sodium lamps, doubt crept in. Was I saving justice or becoming her? The line blurred, and with it, my grip on who I was. But retreat? Not an option. The siege was on, and LA's underbelly was just warming up. Palm Springs faded in the rear view like a bad hangover. The desert wind scouring my windshield as I barreled toward the I-10. Elena's freakout replayed on loop, her voice cracking on my name. That split-second vulnerability cracking her porcelain mask. It should have felt like checkmate, but instead, it hollowed me out. This body ached deeper now, joints grinding like rusted gears. A reminder that Elena's discards weren't built for marathons.
Yuck's road shotgun.
Chain-smoking camels. His profile etched with worry lines. You poked the bear. Lena. Boss don't play defense, they hunt. He wasn't wrong. By Bakersfield. My burner buzzed. Voicemails from unknown numbers. Heavy breathing and veiled threats. Walk away, bitch. Or we'll bury you for real.
Cute.
As if I wasn't already 6 feet under in someone else's grave. I ditched the phone at a gas station talk area, trading it for a fresh one and a burner laptop from a sketchy contact in Fresno. The hacker collective, a nonce with a grudge against media moguls, had the teaser files uploaded, blurred audio snippets of the hit and run, timestamps matching Elena's yoga retreat. No full drop yet. I wanted her paranoid, not cornered. LA welcomed me back with smog-choked skies and a traffic jam on the 101 that tested my road rage. Rosa had news, a PI sniffing around the flop, flashing my Elena's old photo. I told him nada. Mija. But eyes are everywhere. Paranoia, my constant companion now. I moved us to a sublet in Echo Park. A shotgun shack with peeling wallpaper and a view of nothing but graffiti. Jax crashed on the couch. His fixer skills earning his keep. Fake IDs. A Glock I'd never fire, too messy. And a network of street rats who owed him favors. The controversial decisions started piling up like unpaid bills. First, leverage the innocent. I doxed a mid-level Voss exec. A family man with 2 kids in private school, who'd signed off on the framed job emails. His home address hit Reddit's r/truecrime. Anonymous post painting him as the swap's architect. By morning, his wife's tearful interview on local news. We just want this nightmare to end. Guilt gnawed. But so did resolve. He'd chosen sides. Elena's next, a smear on her Ava persona. Leaked texts implying an affair with Reginald. Incest whispers lit up Twitter like dry brush fire, forcing a damage control presser where she choked back sobs. These lies destroy families. The public ate it up, justice for Ava trending, but insiders whispered doubt. Her ratings dipped 15 points overnight. I pushed harder, the tension coiling like a spring. Infiltrating her therapy sessions was Jax's masterstroke, bribed the receptionist at that Brentwood shrink with Voss cash from a petty theft. Hidden mic in the ficus. Feeding me sessions where Ava unraveled, nightmares of crashes. Phantom pains from my mom's chemo vigils. I feel haunted, she confessed. Voice mine but frayed. The doc probed gently. Dissociation? Or guilt? Elena shut down. But the recording went viral via a podcast leak, scrubbed of context. Of course. Controversy exploded. Was the heiress cracking under pressure? Or was something sinister at play? Reginald struck back mid-December. A winter chill settling over the city, like a shroud. His goons torched my Echo Park hideout, arson disguised as a space heater mishap. Jax pulled me out coughing, flames licking the sky orange. We lost everything, clothes, the laptop, Rose's heirloom quilt. She hugged me fierce before the fire trucks wailed.
Vaya con Dios.
Phantasma. Don't let it consume you. Jax and I bounced to a motel in Reseda, the valley's armpit, where porn shoots outnumbered decent burritos. There, over lukewarm pizza, he laid it out. This ain't sustainable.
Ava.
She's got armies, we've got spite. Spite was my superpower. I countered with a big leak, full hit-and-run video to a network of indie outlets. Timed for Reginald's Christmas special, a feel-good hour on American values. The drop hit at 8 p.m. sharp. Screens across the heartland flickering from Yule logs to screeching tires. Chaos. Sponsors bailed. Affiliates went dark. Reginald's on-air meltdown went meme legend, face purple, sputtering about fake news psyops. Elena vanished from feeds. Her, Ava, IG dormant for 48 hours. I imagined her in the panic room, scrolling horror, my face staring back from every mirror like an accusation. But power like the Vosses doesn't crumble easy. They lawyered up, suing leakers for defamation, freezing assets of anyone tied to the drop. Jax got nabbed at a traffic stop, planted coke in his trunk. The works. I bailed him out with the last of our crypto. But the message was clear. Back off. Or next time, no trial. Alone in the motel. TV droning infomercials. I hit bottom. This body rebelled, fever spiking. Visions blurring Ava and Elena into one fractured self. Was revenge worth becoming the void? Mom's voice echoed. Be better. But better for who? The dead? The discarded? The call came at 3 a.m. Blocked number. Her voice, mine, hoarse.
Desperate.
Meet me. Alone. Runyon Canyon.
Dawn.
We end this. Trap?
Probably.
But the coward in me, the real Ava, yearned for closure. Or confrontation. Dawn broke pink and punishing as I hiked the trails. Dew slick under boots too big for these feet. She waited at the overlook, bundled in cashmere, eyes hollowed by sleepless nights. You did this, she hissed.
No preamble.
For what? A life you hated? I stepped closer. The city sprawling below like a circuit board of broken dreams. Your life. The one you stole because you couldn't face your sins. She laughed. Bitter. Sins? Try survival. Daddy's world eats the weak. You were collateral, pure, pliable. Now look at you, a junkie wraith chasing ghosts. Her words landed like hooks. But I saw the lie, tremors in her hands. My hands, from the neural strain. Swap us back, I demanded. Face the music in your own skin.
Impossible.
She sneered. The tech was one way. Neuralink's docs promised eternal renewal, but whispers said it eroded the host over time. You're dying in there, I realized aloud.
And I'm
free. Her face twisted, rage. Envy? And she lunged, shoving hard. We grappled on the edge. Dirt crumbling into the abyss. Her breath hot on my neck. I'd rather die as you than live as me. A rock gave way. She slipped. Fingers clawing air. I grabbed instinct or mercy. But she wrenched free, tumbling into scrub below. Silence. Then a groan.
alive. Barely.
I scrambled down, pulse thundering. She lay twisted, ankles snapped, blood welling slow, no gore. Just the metallic tang of fear. "Help me," she whimpered. Controversial choice. Call 911 and blow cover. Or finish it. I knelt, phone in hand, dialing. Not yet. First, confess. Her eyes widened, defiance cracking. As sirens wailed distant, she whispered the secret I'd half suspected. The swap wasn't just escape. It was inheritance. Reginald had orchestrated it, prepping her to become a cleaner vessel for the family brand. I wasn't the first patsy. There'd been others. Ghosts in the Voss machine. Cops swarmed. Statements taken. I vanished into the brush as Good Samaritan. Elena airlifted to Cedars-Sinai. The press frenzy peaked. Heiress attack trending. Speculation wild. But I knew the truth's half buried still. Jack sprung free on technicals. And we regrouped in a safe house off La Brea, his aunt's basement, stocked with canned goods and conspiracy mags. "Climax comin'," he drawled. "You ready to drop the bomb?" The full drive. Unredacted. Reginald's empire teetering. But as I stared at the files, a new echo surfaced. Doubt. What if ending them ended me? The siege tightened.
All right.
And LA, that fickle bitch, was just getting started. New Year's Eve 2025 dawned gray and unforgiving. The kind of LA winter day where the sun hides like it's ashamed of the mess below. Jax's aunt's basement smelled of mothballs and microwave burritos. A far cry from the Voss penthouses. But it was fortress enough, reinforced door, Wi-Fi jacked from neighbors, and a stack of burner drives ready to rain hell. Elena's accident had bought us time. She was laid up in traction, doped on oxy, while Reginald played the grieving patriarch, issuing statements about vicious smears against our family. The public's appetite whetted, though polls showed trust in Voss media cratering. Boycotts hitting advertisers like a gut punch. I paced the concrete floor, this body heavier with each step, like it sensed the endgame and wanted no part. The echoes had worsened, migraines splitting my skull, visions of Elena's memories bleeding into mine, Reginald's belt cracking across young backs, boardroom coups sealed with blood oaths. Was it the swap decaying, or me fracturing under the weight? Jax watched from the sagging couch, cleaning his nails with a switchblade. You look like death warmed over.
Boss.
Sure you don't want to bail? Let the feds handle the mop-up. Bail? After 3 years of exile? Of waking to strangers' scars and stolen dreams?
No.
The climax demanded blood, metaphorical. Mostly. I decided on the drop. Midnight. Synchronized across every major platform. Time to Reginald's annual America First broadcast. The full arsenal, hit-and-run footage, swap contracts, audio of Elena confessing to the frame-up, in my voice, twisted by pain meds from her hospital bed. Jax's hackers would seed it deep, botnets amplifying until it drowned out the spin. But controversy loomed largest in the personal. To ensure the drop stuck, I needed a witness, someone inside, someone credible. Enter Marcus Hale, Elena's ex, a washed-up screenwriter I'd met in my old life, back when we all hustled scripts at the lot. He was the one soft spot in her armor, dumped for being too vanilla, but still nursing a grudge. I reached out via a coded email, our old passphrase from a drunken karaoke night. Othello's Revenge. Coffee? Earth Cafe. 10 a.m. He showed, rumpled in a Dodgers hoodie, eyes wary behind aviators. We sat under the cafe's olive trees, steam rising from lattes like unspoken sins. Ava?
Shit.
The news said you offed yourself. His voice cracked, genuine hurt, or actor's polish. I slid across a photo, me in Elena's old body. Time-stamped.
Worse.
Stolen. And she's using it to bury the truth. I spilled it all, swap. Frame. The crash, files on encrypted USB.
His face drained. Jesus.
Elena always said you were the weak link. Guess she was projecting. He bought in.
Hook line. Motive?
Not just payback. Marcus had dirt of his own. Witnessed Reginald strong-arming a union rep into suiciding during a strike. I'll go public, he vowed. Fists clenched. Testify. Whatever.
But you?
Stay ghost. We parted with a hug that felt like absolution, his cologne stirring ghosts of normalcy. Was it betrayal to drag him in? Maybe. But war needs soldiers. And mine were thin. The day blurred into prep. Jax rigging upload scripts. Me scripting Elena's confession edit, splicing hospital ramblings with incriminating clips for maximum gut-wrench. Dusk fell early. The city pulsing with pre-party frenzy, fireworks testing in the distance. Bass thumping from lowriders on Sunset. We tuned into Reginald's broadcast at 11 p.m. The basement TV flickering like a portal to hell. There he was, jowls quivering under studio lights, railing against liberal witch hunts, while Elena watched remotely. Her feed patched in from a hospital, pale, bandaged, but defiant in my features. Mid-rant. The drop hit. Screens glitched nationwide, Voss affiliates hijacked. Chiron's flipping to exposed. Voss dynasty built on lies. The video rolled. Screech of tires. Crunch of metal. Elena's voiceover. I did it. Framed Ava. Stole her life. Gasps echoed from the broadcast booth. Reginald's face contorted. Microphone snatched as he bellowed.
Cut it.
This is sabotage. But too late.
Social impluda. Vos suap trending globally.
Memes of Elena's Ava face morphing into devil horns. Marcus's tweet dropped simultaneous. I was there. It's all true. Justice for Ava. Chaos reigned. Reginald's security swarmed the studio. Elena's monitors flatlined into static. In the basement, Jax hooped, cracking beers. We did it. Ghost Girl. Empire's toast. I forced a grin. But nausea roiled, this body seizing. Vision tunneling. The echoes peaked, pain lancing my skull. Elena's screams merging with mine. I collapsed. Jax's face blurring above. Ava? Talk to me. Blackness swallowed, spitting me into a void of merged minds. There. The ghosts danced, Mom's hospice whispers. The gardener's family sobs. Elena's childhood terror under Reginald's fist. And revelation. The swap's flaw wasn't decay, it was symbiosis. Our souls entangled, feeding off each other. Hers weakening in my old body. Mine strengthening in hers resilient, unscarred. But the cost? Identity erosion. Who was I becoming? I woke to sirens, real ones. Jax dialing 911 in panic. Paramedics hauled me out. Oxygen mask fogging. As copters buzzed overhead. News vans clogged the street. Reporters shouting, is the swap victim alive? Reginald arrest played on squad car radios. FBI swarming the penthouse. Charges stacking like indictments. Manslaughter. Conspiracy. Identity fraud.
Elena.
Transferred to federal holding. Her Ava facade shattered on live feeds, ranting about imposters in my head. Jax rode with me to Kaiser. Grip tight. You pulled it off. But what now?
Now?
Reckoning's afterglow. Bitter as burnt toast. Controversial win. Dozens ruined in the fallout. Execs fired. Families splintered. Marcus hailed a hero, but whispers of his opportunism tainted the triumph. And me? Tests showed neural anomalies. Docs scratching heads over. Unexplained trauma. No swap back. Science fiction stayed fiction. As January thawed into tentative spring, I rehabbed in a halfway house in Culver City. This body mending slow, but sure. Jax visited. Bearing scripts, his and Marcus's pitch. Swapped shadows. A Voss takedown biopic. I laughed. First real one in years.
Pass.
Let him speculate. Elena's trial loomed. A media circus where she'd plead diminished capacity. Neural interference. Dragging my name through mud one last time. Reginald rotted in county. Empire auctioned off to the highest bidder. But the climax's fire left scars. I'd avenged the betrayal. Unearthed the secrets. Borne the crimes weight no more. Yet in quiet moments, staring at hands that felt less foreign, I wondered, was justice the revenge? Or just another swap? LA hummed on. Indifferent. Its tensions eternal.
Mine?
Coiled tighter than ever. Spring 2025 bloomed, mocking in LA. Jacarandas painting sidewalks purple like spilled ink. While I navigated the halfway house's rigid rhythm, group therapy at dawn, job hunts by noon. This body, Elena's old shell, had stabilized. The seizures ebbed, echoes fading to murmurs. Docs called it spontaneous remission, prescribing SSRIs and shrugs. I called it survival. The junkie resilience she discarded now armor for the new Ava. Jax fronted as my brother, handling paperwork. His fixer grin masking worry. You're a phoenix,
Kid.
but feathers are molting. What's the play? The play? Fade into the woodwork. Or seize the spotlight. Elena's trial kicked off in April. A three-ring circus in the federal courthouse downtown, marble halls echoing with cable news anchors. Protesters waving signs. Justice or witch hunt. I watched from a dive bar in Silver Lake, nursing a Coke, as the prosecution paraded evidence, the drive's files, Marcus's testimony, even a defector from Neuralink spilling on the swap tech, experimental DARPA offshoot, funded by pharma slush funds. Reginald, shackled and shrunken, glowered from the dock, his empire's carcass picked clean by bankruptcy vultures. Elena stole the show, wheeled in on crutches, my old face gaunt but defiant. Dressed in Chanel, irony's gift, she testified in a voice that was half mine, half venom. I was protecting the family. Ava knew the risks, ambition's price. Gasps rippled as she detailed our pact, painting me as willing pawn. The frame-up a mutual misunderstanding. The twist hit like a sucker punch. She produced evidence, backdated emails, forged in my script, suggesting I'd approached her for the alibi gig. Hungry for the spotlight. She wanted in, Elena purred, tears glistening. I gave her a chance. The swap? Her idea, a radical escape from debt. From her mother's shadow. The courtroom erupted, pundits pivoted overnight. Ava the villain trended. My suicide, reframed as guilt-ridden flight. Marcus backpedaled in interviews, confused by loyalties. Even Jax fielded calls from producers sniffing a darker angle.
I låghet till lite hurt.
The reversal a masterstroke, Elena's cunning undimmed. Even in chains. But deeper, truth inverted. Had I misremembered? The echoes lied. Or did they? In therapy, I unpacked it. Ambition had blinded me. The NDA, my original sin. Was I avenger or accomplice? The real gut twist came in May. Visiting hours at the Women's Detention Center. I pulled strings, anonymous donation to the guard's kids' college fund, and got FaceTime with her. The room was sterile. Plexiglass thick as regret. Phones greasy from desperate hands. She wheeled up, smirking through bruises from a cell block scrap. Come to gloat. Squatter. Her eyes, my eyes bored in, hungry for weakness. Not quite, I said, voice steady in this throat. To end it, I slid a note under the partition, coordinates to a dead drop in Griffith Park. Midnight. One last swap secret. Or I walk. And the world keeps half the story. She crumpled it. But curiosity flickered, the predator sensing bait. Midnight fog rolled off the observatory. Stars smudged like watercolor. She arrived chauffeured. Ankle monitor beeping soft. Flanked by feds in plain clothes. This better be good, she spat. Hobbling to the overlook where she'd fallen months back. I waited in shadows. Heart a freight train. The full truth. I began. Stepping into moonlight. Neuralink's logs don't lie. But you do. The swap wasn't escape, it was succession. Reginald prepped you to become me because you were the liability. The crash? Your screw-up. But the deeper crime, the one I bore? Her laugh cracked the night. Bore? You lapped it up.
Ava.
Mom's cancer bills piling. Your stalled career. You begged for the gig.
Lie.
Or half-truth. The NDA flashed in mind. My signature bold. But then, no. The gardener's family. You promised settlement, but Reginald vanished them. Mexico border. Coyotes paid to lose them. I signed the wire transfer. Your fall guy again. She paled. Mask slipping.
How?
Echoes. I explained. The neural bleed we'd shared. Her memories leaking like faulty plumbing. Including the night after the swap. Her and my body, drunk on power. Confessing to Reginald over scotch.
Ava's clean, she'd slurred. No traces.
But he'd turned cold. Then why the echoes? Fix it. Or you're next. The twist reversed. I wasn't stolen. I was sacrificed. To cleanse the Voss line. Make Elena redeemable in a virgin vessel.
Me.
The orphan nobody. Perfect scapegoat for their sins. Rage boiled anew, but tempered. Confess it all, I demanded. On record. Or the drops public, full logs. Showing you as the architect. Feds shifted. Sensing drama, her guards tensed. Elena's eyes darted, calculating. Always. Then, defeat a nod.
Deal.
But you vanish. For real this time. We shook through the glass later. Her plea deal inked by week's end. Reduced sentence for full disclosure. Voss dynasty dismantled. Reparations to victims' kin. Summer scorched in. Trials wrapping in a blaze of headlines. Reginald died in custody. Heart attack. Or poison whispers. Elena got 15 to life. Her Ava face plastered on true crime docs, debating her villainy.
Me?
I shed the halfway house for a studio in Atwater Village. This body toned by yoga and spite. Echoes silenced to fond ghosts. Jax co-wrote a book, Ghosted. Natch, swap no more. Proceeds funding scholarships for journalism kids. Marcus? Hollywood Redemption. Scripting a Voss expose series. We crossed paths at a premiere. Awkward hugs and what-ifs. The ending? Debatable as a hung jury. Happy. Justice served. Secrets exhumed. Me reborn in borrowed skin, stronger. Wiser. Untethered. Tragic. Lives shattered. Including mine's fragments. The cost of vengeance, a hollow echo. Mom would have hated the mess, but approved the fight. As fall winds stirred the palms, I hiked Runyon again. City lights winking below. No ghosts this time, just Ava. Hullish. Pondering the next climb.
Inla.
Revenge isn't finale, it's reinvention. And I'd play to win. Or lose beautifully. Your call.